Radio Rahim with George Groves, one of my favorite guys to talk to during fight week, and we're right at the edge. We got the weigh-in coming up. I mean, they're heavyweights, right? So there's not a whole bunch of drama, but we want to see what they look like. What do you expect to see when these guys rip their shirts off and step on the scale?
Well, I think, excuse me. I think Fury's going to be a lot lighter looking, at least, than we saw previous. He looks lighter in the face, doesn't he? You know, he's never going to be cut. He's never that guy, but I can imagine him being lighter. It doesn't necessarily paint a picture for us of if he's going to box on the back foot or press off the front foot, but I just think he knows that the guy in front of him, very good with his feet, nice and neat and nimble, makes those of adjustments, so he wants to be a bit light on his feet, Fury. And I think Usyk comes in the same weight that he usually does. You know, he's sort of grown, took his time to grow into that heavyweight division, and he is there now. So he'll be the same weight that he was. I think there's only a pound or so in it that he's been for, say, Dubois, for Joshua, so I think that'll be about it.
And I think you said something very educated there where you're like, well, you know, his size will be smaller, but his weight may not be that different. We all know that muscle carries more weight than fat, and he's like maybe put on some mass in the muscle and lean down the fat. So I wonder if his strategy might still be to lean on Usyk and use his weight as an advantage in the fight.
Well, yeah, I think he will certainly, at every opportunity, be trying to do that. And I think Usyk knows that, I think. But he's a well-schooled, you know, amateur and pro. I just don't see him allowing himself to get laid on the entire fight. He'll have a tactic for that, Usyk. I like to see, I think Tyson Fury's best chance of winning this fight isn't just being neat and long and crafty and sort of trying to box off the back foot. It's actually, don't give Usyk an inch of ground. Go out, take that center of the ring, you know, be commanding with that jab. Because Usyk, he's got to cover so much distance to land on Fury. It's going to take up a lot of energy to keep making them adjustments to get into range, to let his hands go and then break out clean so that he's won that exchange each and every time. But if Fury takes that center ring, nice and strong and powerful with that jab, tries to set up them shots, he'll sort of keep Usyk at arm's length for a lot of the fight. It'll make it double difficult for Usyk to get inside. And that's where Usyk will ultimately have success, because he does have phenomenal feet. He will get himself within punching range and hit you half a dozen times before you can actually adjust to it. And it's not because he's got Ryan Garcia lightning hands, it's because he's so neat and precise with his shots. And he builds into a fight each and every round. He's just drowning you. He adds a little bit more. So you can never get comfortable with him. We've seen him where we only presume, like where he got caught and he might look hurt, like in the Joshua fight, but then the round ends, he comes out and he bosses the next round. He has that ability.
You know, a guy you can never really get comfortable with, Big John Fury. I don't know if he plans to step on the scales tonight, but he's definitely the only fighter up there that's still cut.
Yeah.
And apparently there's going to be a rematch no matter what happens. So I wonder if we might not get Froch John Fury on the undercard. Have you made much of this whole back and forth?
To be honest, I saw the John Fury headbutt incident, and I haven't seen what the
John said he's going to headbutt Froch next.
Froch got a hard head. I can guarantee that. I told you, he's got a hard head, and he didn't come off so well in the last headbutt. So maybe I don't know. Maybe we have a different plan. But he's yeah. I mean, I try not to lean into that stuff. It's interesting, of course, but it's like it was a little bit too much. John's been so good at being this sort of pantomime character, larger than life, says these ludicrous things, but we're all just like, well done, John. But then now he's trying to headbutt guys. It's all of a sudden can get real. But it's fight week. I think he lost his composure there. I would take that as a sort of a weakness, and I would be disappointed if John Fury was in my team and that had happened. I'm not sure if anyone can give him a rollicking, whether it is just son Tyson and Tyson's like, Dad does what he likes, he'll leave him to it. But Froch has got itchy knuckles too, we know that. So, they want to get him out to the Kingdom of Saudi. He'll take that fight in a heartbeat.
And lastly, you did mention Ryan Garcia. I wonder what you think about his positive drug tests and what way forward he's got.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing. It's really, really disappointing that he's testing positive. It's whichever way you want to lean into it. I've took up a role for the British Boxing Board of Control. They want to bring out a clean boxer program. So I don't know the ins and outs of how to do drug testing, but all I know is I want to be an ambassador for clean boxing. So every time someone tests positive, it is a downer on the sport. So fighters need the education. I think that you can't just drink a prime drink or this drink or that drink. Scrap that, not a prime drink, so I don't know if they're any good or not. But they can't just drink anything, can't eat anything. You got to be careful, and you got to take that stuff really important, because it does leave a terrible stain on you and boxing in general. So he's saying there's controversy between it, is something dodgy's gone on, but that's what every fighter always says. So we'll see. But it was a shame, because it's sort of another notch on the belt for what should be a really big breakout win for him. He's always been a big star, but that's his big win, isn't it? So that was disappointing.
We hope we've seen him in his prime and this B sample comes back negative, but we hope for sure it's not the prime drink, because I had one of those today. I want to test positive. Yeah. Radio Rahim. Yeah, I feel like amazing. Okay. Radio Rahim with George Groves.